Welcome everybody to Ladies Night Live. We got Yoda here, and of course, me, Little Miss Prepper. We don't have Lucy from Crooked Little Homestead. She's going to be in the chat. She's having bad internet. Her weather's sounds pretty bad up there right now. So she'll be in and out of the chat at least.
That's all right. So we're going to start on a new, we've got 2 decks to give away tonight, if everybody can get the word. And then Ashley, you've got those, so you'll know what those words are, and you can call them. And like I said, if it's a vague description of the word, that's okay too.
Okay.
As long as you can pinpoint them. And then let's see, I think because of the things that have happened last week and that kind of thing, I think I'm going to go ahead and have JD just go ahead and email. It's not going to be a good email. I think I'm going to just have him throw a deck of cards for you in the post. And that way, if I can't be on here, at least you guys can keep going. So, and
okay.
Yeah. But so anyway, the deck of cards we had open and we were working on, Karen set them on the truck on our way to festival to put them in the truck, to put them inside the truck so that they weren't lost, and we knew where they were. And they quite literally fell off the truck. So we're on a new deck of cards. Evening, Rosie. Hey, Crooked Little Homestead. And so we're on a new deck of cards. So if you do hear some cards that sound similar and that kind of thing, it's because they are. So
I remember you saying you were missing quite a few cards anyway, so
we were. Yeah, that was that whole trip to Colorado. We had the cards out and people thought, whoa, they're free.
Yeah.
I was chasing people down, give those back. And, nothing on it said free, take one, so I don't even know what they were thinking. Some people just have that entitlement, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so we're on a new deck. But yeah, so we'll get that done and get you a deck of cards so you guys can continue and do it when I'm not here. I just felt horrible, but I was so I didn't mean to sound horrible, but I was so grateful that All American was not feeling well, because I just literally turned everything off and went to bed.
When you texted me, I was like, oh, I get it. I understand her.
Yeah. The postal strike is over. Okay. All right. So I'll get that up there. Okay. So then Canada can be included in tonight's games. So hopefully we'll get some more Canucks with cards in their hands. So you guys need them as badly as we do. So,
yeah.
So yeah, sorry about last week. And then Thursday, I did not even end up going to the commissioners meeting. I just couldn't. And it takes a lot out of you, an accident like that. So I couldn't do it. Garen didn't go. And but we did get a call. There's a town hall meeting Senator Marshall is doing today. And they called, 15 minutes ago or so, and said they were getting ready to go in for a town hall meeting, talking about what we have accomplished. And it looks like Kansas did halt the 5-mile the line coming through. So they're not going to be able to get any more of that wiring in for right now. So we're still going to have to fight it, I'm sure.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Almost Homesteading with Janet. Hi, I like your name there. Almost Homesteading.
That's all right. That's the goal, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Tambra.
Hi, Tambra.
Yeah. And so yeah, I like to hear that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll let some more people come in. So let's just catch up since we haven't really talked in over a week.
I know. And yeah. I mean, man, All American, he's been on this one medication for quite some time, and it's kind of like starting to react to him differently. So he stopped taking it, and he was having withdrawals like crazy. And so, yeah, he's feeling better now. It's still bothering him just a bit with his stomach reacting to it as well.
Okay.
But man, we have a nurse down the road, and she was all like, man, you should have came down to us sooner. And at first he didn't realize what that complete was. He didn't put two and two together.
Sure.
That's why he felt so bad.
I'm not taking that medicine no more because it slows me down. I got somebody I'm gonna beat the crap out of.
That's why we keep a lot of activated charcoal on hand, and then that way when you start getting those withdrawals, you throw that in there and it'll just wipe it right out of you.
I didn't even think of that. I even have charcoal.
Right? So
and I mean, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I gotta keep some of that stuff on hand.
Hey,
Rabbit, thanks for the drink.
Yes.
So
I mean, he's starting to feel better. I mean, because Monday it was almost it sounded like he almost had a migraine because lights and sound was bothering him.
Yeah. And
then just going like that, like I don't know how people are. Some people, if you say the word throw up or vomit, it's like, oh. So that was bothering him, and man, he lost some weight though, but the bad way of losing weight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never a fun way to lose weight.
No.
Forever. So.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Dusty.
Yeah, everybody's starting to come in.
Yes.
You're good. Okay. So my glasses, nobody make fun of me, because they bounced around quite a bit in the truck, and they're toast. So I have to hold them in order to keep them on my head. So it just is what it is. Dusty finally got her cards. Good deal. Yeah,
awesome.
we were having a problem getting those. I don't know what the deal was, but good. I'm glad she got them because she won those a long time ago. So
yeah,
but
I'd actually forgotten about that.
Yeah. So now we can get Lucy's out and Tambra's. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to Garen. Tambra should have went out, but that doesn't mean anything. We've slept since then and had quite the excitement lately. So.
Oh yeah.
But good deal. Good deal. All right. So those of you that missed it, we're on a brand new deck of cards. So if you hear some cards that we already read that one, bear with us. It just is what it is. So anyway, but this will give you a chance for those that don't have the cards. This will give you a nice chance to just kind of see everything that's in there, because I know we have some that are pretty new. So but to the channel. So anyway, ready to start?
Yes.
Start. Here we go. All right, guys. And remember, there's a couple decks of cards to give away. And if you've won them before, share the love. All right. So we're going to go natural and man-made disasters, scenario 21. On September 1st, 2031, a powerful drought plagues the agriculture heartland of Nebraska. As a farmer, you have a stash of water large enough to irrigate your crops or to supply the parched local small town. Do you secure your own livelihood or assist the community in the face of severe dehydration? So
I do know what you mean about that. I remember this one already. But yeah, I would want to make sure I have enough for my crops, and then if we can do with the community, then yeah, that'd be great. But if I don't have enough for just my crops, then I can't share.
Yeah, and so remember I talked about the rule of 3, right? So 3 minutes underwater with no air, you can last for dying. 3 days without water, you can last without dying. 30 days without food, total suck, but you can do it. But eventually you're going to get to that 30 days and water is going to be the least of their issues. They're going to start dying of starvation. So I would keep the crops going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
can you do a bit of both? What does that mean? Almost homesteading with Jeanette. A little lost.
I think.
Like maybe she could do both, like
Yeah.
share water.
Yeah.
Definitely could. I think there's a risk factor there though, right? So what would that risk factor be? If you're able to share water and people know that you're able to share water and they're coming and getting water, because most of that's going to be like a community well or something like that, right? So now they know you have access to water. Who's to say they're not going to come in? And this is a valid point. Who's to say they're not going to come in and say, well, you have enough, so now you have to share? Missouri, especially right now, if you get a well dug, it is registered with the state. Like they know where your well is. Kansas, it's registered. They know where your well is, and these are required to be registered. So this is why there's a lot of times, you'll hear some people on the old farmlands, they always say, if I had a well, because there was once upon a time before that, they did not have to be registered. And so some are not. There's nothing on record. So,
Hey, Ashton. Hey, Chatter.
Hey, who's Cheddar?
His friend.
Girlfriend?
Yeah. His friend from his best friend since elementary school.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Go ahead.
Almost with Homestead, bought a well with an unregistered.
Yeah.
A home with an unregistered well.
Yeah, Rabbit said he's got one that's certified, but it's not registered. So I don't know how that worked, but good on you, Rabbit. So there's still record of it, but I'm not sure. But I don't know. Don't know enough about that situation. So it's an interesting question, but I think there's a risk factor when you start giving people water. So this is why it's so important that everybody start storing up, and you got to stack that water.
That actually reminded me of a scene in the Book of Eli, where they had a spring, and then they only if you have to pay something to get water out of that.
Right. Well, look at what's going on in Colorado right now, right? And it's not. I don't think Colorado is the only state. I think it's happening in other states. But if you have a well, if you have water catchment, you actually have to pay people. I believe it's upstream is what Garen said. I think it's the water department because that's where they collect the water from. And so you have to pay forward. So they measure what you collect and what you've got and what's taken out of the well, and you have to pay that back. Isn't that odd?
Yeah.
So you're paying for rainwater. Like, I don't get it. But anyway. So yeah, Tambra, it fills her bottles with water. Yeah. And then, just make sure you get a little bit of bleach in there so that it's shelf stable, and then get that in there. There's actually a recipe for it. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's actual certain amount of bleach that you put in that bottled water to keep it on the shelf. So, but Lucy, I don't know how it works up there in Canada, to be honest with you. I would imagine that it's probably not too far off, but you never know. So, and you guys have been on that land for a while, so I could see that you guys might get away with some things. All right, so let's go to New American Civil War scenario 13. In the aftermath of a major battle in Orlando, Florida on September 20th, 2027, you are given the responsibility of deciding the fate of captured enemy combatants. You must choose between offering them a chance for rehabilitation or treating them harshly as a deterrent to others. If you choose to be merciful, this will diminish your supplies and manpower available to your own group. How would you approach this difficult decision, and what principles would inform your choice?
Well, I mean, I almost didn't think about the same thing about the people in the jails and prisons that don't need to be even alive, that we need to waste our stuff, our food, our money, our all that on. So I kind of even think it the same way. Why do we even have all these people on death row that are going, we're just housing them, feeding them, all that. So I think it the same way. Go ahead and take them out.
Yeah, I think there's that. If you know, this world without rule of law, and so there's no more of those war crimes and that kind of thing. I think you just take them out. And yeah, you're like Tamara says, you got to protect your people. Your people, they're the most important. They're the ones that are going to help you get to the end. Tamara, that's interesting. Let's go back a little bit. She said the only thing they put in our water is chlorine. Now, Tamara's in Texas. I'm not sure how that's working, but that doesn't work that way in the rest of the United States. But good on you if that's all you're getting.
Oh, I know in the city they are putting sometimes you can smell tons of chlorine in the water. Sometimes in the city on the city lines.
Yeah. Have you ever smelled fish? Like the water smells fishy. I smelled that. Yeah, you can smell it. It just, you can tell there's dead fish everywhere. And then sometimes the water, like fluoride is a really big deal. They put fluoride in the water. And that's why a lot of the water filters and that kind of thing actually have where it takes out the fluoride and all of the other garbage that's in the water. So yeah, I'd be shocked if Tamara's water, and good on you if that's all you got. But like I said, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, fishy drinking water. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I got us into the Berkeys and cleaning our water and all of that stuff. I just don't even play with it anymore. And, so yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Skane said first they are combatives, not civilians.
Correct. Amigo. But there's still rules right now for combatants when they're taken prisoner of war. So
yeah.
Kind of where I was going with that, but they're I don't even know if that rule of law would apply in those times, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Lucy, don't get comfortable with those natural springs now, girl. You know better than that. Don't get comfortable with those things. Get contaminated. And as a matter of fact, we go back on that. I was actually talking to somebody who's out at the reservation this last week, and she brought some things up to me, and we got to talking. There's some land in Illinois that the state is trying to sell back to Potawatomi. They want them to buy it. Well, they went ahead and tested the lakes that are on there, and they were compromised. So,
oh wow,
yeah. Well, so then what happens? And this is one of the things I was telling her. I said, so let me get this straight. So where that land is, that's part of the Rainbow Expressway, and so they want to sell it back to the Native Americans, so that the Native Americans now have to get EPA involved. They have to clean all of the water, take care of all the remediation and all of that stuff to get the contaminants out. And then they're going to go ahead and push this Rainbow Expressway in order to take the land back that has been cleaned up. And we just kind of both shook our heads at that and went, huh, things that make you go, So yeah, really, really weird. Yeah, Rabbit. I think so. Some of the water, depending on your ag centers and that kind of thing, you can sometimes have that water tested for free too. So, but anyway, all right. So let's go. Let me untangle I'm trying not to break them, but I don't know. I think, I don't know. It's a lost cause. We'll see. So, all right. Then let's go to government. On September 12th, 2030, in the ravaged remnants of Miami, Florida, the government has begun confiscating all personal firearms in an effort to maintain control and suppress any potential uprisings. Your family has relied on a firearm for hunting and self-defense, and you must decide whether to surrender your weapon to the authorities, leaving your family vulnerable, or to hide it and risk severe consequences if discovered. What would you do in this situation?
Not give nothing up, and also probably be like, tell them, oh, I sold that thing already. Or and I mean, this isn't a rule without rule of law. Oh, I bartered that already.
Yeah, who'd you barter it to?
I don't know, guy up the road.
Up what road? Where? What house? We want to know right now.
I don't know,
Yeah.
some stranger I've never met before. I got some.
I don't know. You
He
know what
gave
I'm
me some
saying?
toilet papers.
Yeah.
He gave me TP for it.
Yeah, M's right. Risk it for sure. I totally would too. I'd risk it. Nothing's going over. Kind of see where we're at, if there's still internet and that kind of thing. But yeah, I definitely risk it. But this is why also I say, you have guns that are, I got to be careful how I say this. There are a way to obtain guns that people don't know you have. Right? So you need a mix of everything. You have your sacrificials, and then you have your ones that are your livelihood, right? So no, YouTube, I'm not advocating violence, anything illegal or anything like that. I'm just saying we need to protect ourselves. So there be that.
Rabbit, what's a firearm?
Yeah, right. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Terrorism, violence, and thought crimes. Scenario 30. Come up with your own tense scenario involving violence done by a terrorist or a robber.
Come up with my own scenario about what?
About involving a terrorist. Okay, so come up with your own tense scenario involving violence done by a terrorist or a robber.
It'd be pretty cool if Lucy was on here right now.
So you passed the question on. I know what you're playing.
I don't know, a tense scenario.
Mm-hmm. You want me to go? Like, this is a reality. Like, this actually happened to my god sister. And
Yeah.
so she was working at a bank and everything was good. They had security in place and all of that, like most banks do. And the robbers came in. And when the robbers came in, she was the bank manager at the time. So she was the one that they used as to get into the safe and all of that to rob the bank. And she stood up and was like trying to be, she was trying to save everybody in the bank and do what she was told and that kind of thing. Basically what ended up happening, she had to make a decision. Did she risk everybody else in the bank and defy them and not do it? Or did she go ahead and take a beating, and get everything open up so they could take what they had? After, she decided she was going to stand up for the other people that were in the bank, and she was going to make sure that they were secure. And she literally took a beating. They took a beating and took a lot of therapy after that to get her back healthy, mentally and all of that. But yeah, she had to make that decision. And that was real life. And so I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know that I would have made that decision. I don't know. I think I would have. I think I would have tried to flee, but God bless her and I love her. And she's such a strong woman. And that decision that she made, that was something. So, and that was the robber scenario. Yeah, terrible.
The ladies of the View take over New York. We let them have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, man. Yeah, that sounds just like one of those bank run scenarios that one is.
Yeah.
Man, and I mean, my boss has always even said if someone comes in and wants to, hey, give me all your money, she's like, don't fight it, just go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes that's not enough, right? Because, especially in a bank situation, they want more. They're not, when they're going to banks, they're looking for hundreds of thousands. They're not looking for, okay, we'll settle with whatever we can get, So they want the oomph out of it. But yeah, I think you could apply those 10 scenarios in everyday life right now. A lot of us deal with on a daily basis. So kind of crazy, but
Yeah. Tambra, he is just right over here in our little area.
don't get him stirred up, Tamara. He's been quiet for the most part. Don't get him
Yeah.
all stirred up. Because then you get him stirred up, and then all the other guys get stirred up because they don't understand how come they can't be on the panel and they can't say something. And what they need to understand is that that is All American's channel over there, and All American can just do whatever the hell he wants. So, except for his picture be on. So, but I'm not going to push that one either because he'll probably make that happen if they pushed it. Oh gosh. All right, so let's go with scenario 10 from Emergency Preparedness Basics. Have you familiarized yourself with the locations and contact information of nearby emergency shelters, hospitals, and other critical facilities? And do you have alternative routes planned to reach them in case primary routes are blocked or unsafe?
Huh. I never thought about it in a certain scenario having to go to different areas. I always thought like more, but we have our own little in case meetup locations if one location is not good. We have that, but going to like shelters or other places like that, I don't really want to go to a regular shelter for like those. We have our own little stuff. But
there was once upon a time, like when we were first having Ian and we had to move across country, we went from San Diego to Washington, D.C., and I was 9 months pregnant, due like any day. And G was going to leave me behind. I'm like hell you are. And like, this is not how I just get so, it's weird. I don't know. He's like a security blanket. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's just like, especially when things are stressful, I need him there with me. And you know, we're partners in crime, and it's just kind of the way it goes. But he had everything mapped up. We knew exactly every hospital where it was, the way that we were going. He had everything on the map and all of that. So we knew what we were going to do. So in that scenario, I get it. When we lived on base, we knew where we were supposed to be, where shelters were, you know, what was supposed to happen, that kind of thing. So we had that. Now we rely on ourselves. We've seen how it works in the government. We've seen what ends up happening when you're out in the general public and you're dealing with shelters and stuff like that, especially a bomb shelter. No way. You couldn't pay me enough money to get into a bomb shelter with a bunch of people I had no idea who they were. You couldn't pay me enough money. You know, people are dangerous when they're under stress, and I don't want any part of that. So what Tamara's got, what was cereal? I had a similar, maybe she means. I was voted in
scenario, maybe.
Scenario.
I was voted in. Wish I was on. I would tell you.
I have no. So.
The whole scenarios things that we were just doing, where you made up your own scenario.
Oh, she's got one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And she wished she was on here, so she could tell you.
Yeah. See, now she's not on. She's not under pressure, so she can think of all these things. Right?
Yeah.
So let's save them for next time, Lucy.
Sorry, involved in.
Yeah. Oh, involved in. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's right. Ark Wildman, he came in, and so good to see you. And so let's see. Trying to think. Oh, yeah. Let's go here. We're going to go to economic collapse. Okay. And so we had back-to-back festivals type deal thing. And people are hurting. And man, there was people this last one that just barely covered their table fees. I felt so bad for them. We did better than that. Not as great as what we usually do for Christmas time. But, you know, we did okay. We didn't lose our butts, and it was worth sitting down there. Tennessee, you know, wasn't great, but, you know, it did good, you know, and plus we were there for John's birthday and able to support him and had some fun. It was all good. And so that was good. But yeah, times are tight. People are not spending money. It's just not happening.
I see that. And I've even heard on Facebook, there's like groomers boards on Facebook, and so many other groomers are saying that they're slow this year for Christmas, and that's just weird.
People can't afford it.
Yeah.
And we've cut back. In fact, well, with everything that came up, some of it is time, things that have happened, and then my screen time and all that. I got to get off my butt because I only have like 8 days, I think, till Christmas. I've got to get for my grandkids presents sent out to Utah. And Yoda, you were smart ass, she said. Yeah, I mean, is that news? And but I got to get that sent out. And then my grandson, I got to get a couple more things for him. Garen was laughing at me. I found so my granddaughter, she's so stinking cute. And then my daughter-in-law, so they're like totally into this. And I kid you not, I found a fairy garden kit that is a trailer park.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So Garen looked at it and Garen goes, "Is that a fairy garden trailer park?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Oh my God." And so he's like, and then we're like thinking, okay, well, we need to go get the little flamingos out of trailer park work, or maybe go get like an addition to them, and then we could put those in the garden. But I got some plants for her. I'm gonna get cut and get rooted. They'll be rooted by that time, and her and I can plant them together and put everything together.
Aww.
For Christmas. But yeah, so stinking cute. So stinking cute. I was just laughing about that. But yeah, so yeah, so I got her taken care of. I just need to get the other two taken care of. So we'll get that done. And then as far as the grown kids go, they're going to be in the same boat. And the only thing I expect from them are school pictures for Christmas. Kids, hint, 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 pictures. I keep telling them all the time. They're like, Christmas is so expensive. I'm like, you already have a crap ton of pictures sitting around from school. Send me the pictures. Don't even have to buy a frame. Just give me the pictures. All right, so let's get on with it. Economic collapse. Scenario 30. Come up with your own harrowing scenario you wouldn't want to live through during an economic collapse in your country.
I was just thinking another for time if Trump didn't get elected, I wouldn't want to live through that scenario.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
I don't know.
Get out of here. No, like mine's worse. I think
yeah, that's what I meant. Like if he was or if Kamala, whatever her name is.
Camel toe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to be respectful to her anymore. Yeah, no, Camel toe Harris. I don't know that any of those scenarios would actually send me over the edge that I didn't want to live, because I would just keep pressuring through and get my stuff done and make sure that I was taken care of, taking care of my family and all of that, just like I've done through this administration. Is it comfortable? Is it fun? It's not. Is it doable? It totally is.
And then, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to not live through something, but just probably get more away from everything, I guess. More away from the world. I mean, kind of I don't know. Yeah, there you go. More in the woods, like burying yourself more in the woods where you don't deal with the outside world at all.
Yeah, go back to the Appalachian lifestyle, right?
Yes, exactly.
But as we're learning quickly, they're not even safe either. And but no, for me it would be totally different. So I think what would be hard for me to see and live through, I probably could even live through this, but it would be very difficult for me to go back to the Dust Bowl and the Depression, all of that hitting at one time, and then seeing children starving and families starving, and seeing that my family affected the same way, because you have that Dust Bowl, and guys, we're in the middle of a drought. We're all paying attention. Farmers everywhere are paying attention to what's going on. And we see the drought. We know what the repercussions are because it's happened in history before. And I think that and watching it affect my children and my grandchildren and, who knows by then, great grandchildren, that would be very difficult for me. And I don't know that I could be selfish enough to take myself out, but I would definitely give up my life to save one of them. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
So,
I
yeah.
actually hear him say it actually quite a bit that, he'll give up his, just to be able to help me and put himself in front of me too, that he will sacrifice himself so that I could live.
Yeah. Rabbit Rabbit puts an LOL on there because he knows what's coming. They did a series called Ozarks. I don't know if you guys ever watched that or not. And so Ozarks, came out and it got very popular. So now everybody and their brother, every freaking soccer mom and NASCAR dad, their whole plan is to go to the Ozarks when, SHTF happens. And nobody there's going to be safe when that happens. So, but
I've heard of Ozark. I just never watched it.
It's all right. It's I don't know. It turns very thuggy, and I didn't like where it went with it. And I think it gave a bad rap on the people of the Ozarks, and I don't know, but I was a bit offended. It is what it is. So I don't know. And there is, we laugh. There's a Ozark Mafia, but it's different from the way they portrayed it. Hollywood, they always take things way too far. So.
Oh yeah. Did you know there's even a Amish Mafia?
Yeah.
I've watched that. They've had a show too before.
Yeah.
It was actually quite funny, I thought.
See, that's the problem. I mean, you get into that, we think mafia and we're thinking like Chicago, right? So, it's like gangsters and, machine guns everywhere and people firing and no man is safe kind of deal. And, you got to go talk to the boss if you want anything done. And don't turn your nose over at somebody else, and it's just not, I don't know. It's weird, but anyway, I see it. It's no different than like MS-13 and, now they call them gangs instead of mafia and that kind of thing, but or cartel and stuff. I don't know. I heard a story about the cartel. Like somebody reported it. Who was it that reported it? Oh man, I can see his face. Little short, chubby guy, glasses. The Rubin report, I think. And so he started reporting like some SEAL team went rogue in California and they're like getting cartel gangs out and, wiping out the cartel of this and that, blah, blah, blah. I looked at Garen and I said, I must be a complete idiot. And he goes, what do you mean? So I tell Garen what's going on and what was said and that kind of thing. I said, one, I can't find anything on the internet that verifies what was said about that. And I said, two, I said, I grew up. So I literally grew up almost directly across the street. Well, it was across the street where they trained. And so we lived in base housing in Silver Strand and the Buds Barracks and all of that is across from the amphib base, which was next door in a way to the housing. And we would be out on the beach and the Buds would have to be running and doing their thing and training. And then SEALs everywhere in San Diego and Los Angeles area and that kind of thing. Nobody goes rogue. They may have been told to do something and it could be top secret and maybe not should have been reported on the Rubin report. Kind of thinking maybe that's where it's at if it's accurate and true, because I can't even find a rabbit hole to go down in to figure that one out. But I've never, and y'all, anybody out here, I've never seen it, so I don't know. All right. I think I already pulled a bank run, didn't I? No. It was economic collapse. Okay. All right. So go back and check. All right. Okay. Scenario 21 of bank run on November 23rd, 2032 in Austin, Texas. Sorry. See, I go to scratch and my that's terrible. So on November 20th, and the sad part is I have to drive with these, and I can't keep them on when I'm driving. I can't see nothing. It's like, who's that guy from, what's that cartoon? He was blind, and constantly ended up with his car somewhere. Mr. Magoo.
Oh, yeah.
November 23rd, 2032 in Austin, Texas, a bank run has left many in your community unable to afford essential medications. Your cousin, a pharmacist, has been stealing products and secretly providing medicine to those in need, which is illegal. You become aware of this action and must decide whether to confront them or keep their secret, potentially risking legal repercussions for both of you. Do you confront your cousin and ask him to stop his illegal activities, or do you remain silent and risk becoming an accessory to his crime?
I think he's doing actually pretty good, so I would probably keep it secret. Like Rabbit even said, nope. Shh.
Yeah. So I would, if I was put in that position, I would keep it secret, but I would also like get a hold on that, right? So try to let him know, hey, I know what you're doing and I got you. And now you make me part of it. And I would take all my friends that had medication and needed medication. I would have a list of what they need. And I would make sure that they were getting their medication before other strangers were, right? So my core was getting their medicine. And so I would do that, take a leverage on that. However, I also am not stupid. And I'm aware in a scenario like that, we are not getting medications in. The pharmacies are not going to be full. Hospitals are not going to be full of medicine. This is not going to happen. This is where you need to get someone in your community who knows herbalism, who knows different tricks, nooks, and crannies. And you get with the cousin, the pharmacist, and you go over because they're going to know every component that medication is made out of, right? Not only that, they're going to know all of the side effects from that medication. And if they don't know it off the top of their head, they literally have everything at the drop of a hat in books, on digital, whatever. It's all there. So if you could get your brains together, this is why Callie and I get so excited now that we're together, and we get other knowledge, and like Leanne gets her butt up here. They can get their cabin and everything finished so that they can move up here. Leanne's going to have her practice open. And if we can all, the combination of minds put together, we could literally build an entire pharmacy for our community. And none of it is good. It's all going to be natural medicine. None of it's going to be from pharmaceuticals, because the pharmaceutical companies, they're just killing you anyway.
Oh, yeah. I love that idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and like Devil Dog said, like I would act like Schultz. I see nothing.
Right. I forgot about that. God, we're a bunch of old folk on here.
I just like watching old shows.
Oh, yeah, sure. Right. You see that old man you're married to right over there?
I know. You know what? I always say I'm just an old soul. That's why I married an old man.
Yeah. Wow, you've got to be kidding me, Rabbit. Rabbit's in the process of getting rid of about 10K's worth of insulin right now because nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to take the time to come get it. I was going to give it to someone who needed it. Oh, my gosh. And insulin is short. I can't believe that. That's crazy.
My boss, she lost her son, and his wife had a whole bunch of insulin as well. And she was putting out like, hey, anybody need this? Nobody wanted it.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, no, I'd be throwing that shit in the freezer and storing it. Totally would. If it's good enough for third world countries after it's expired, it's good enough for anybody here. Mm-hmm. So, and let's face it, the third world countries, they're doing a hell of a lot better than we are right now.
Oh, so, yeah.
Of course, we keep sitting them millions and billions of dollars. So there's that. But, all right. Let's go to pandemic. Let's go to pandemic scenario 30. Oh gosh, why is there? I should have went through these cards. I should have cheated. You're not going to be happy.
What, another Florida one?
Come up with your own agonizing scenario involving a global pandemic.
Ugh. I don't like when I come up with my own stuff.
Come on, put your brain to work.
I know. Man. Okay. Global pandemic. Oh, one thing though. Everybody in the chat, y'all think of stuff too. Put it up here.
Write in your scenarios, guys. And you never know. That could get you a deck of cards. You never know. Whatever you're going to put in there. So could do it.
And y'all can give me ideas.
Yeah. All right. Here's one for you. I'll go ahead and go first. Because I always think of this and like it's my favorite thing. Especially like around Christmas and Thanksgiving when we all get together and we start doing parties and everything. I'm like, okay, this time, who's Typhoid Mary going to be? Right? Like, who's going to be spreading all this crap? Right? And so it's my favorite saying. I think an absolute global disaster would be typhoid. Like, if you literally think about it, it almost depleted an entire culture before us, right? In history. And I even think with the way they've done the medical systems and put things together. Hey, Dolly Glenn, I can't tolerate that. Stop that. Sorry about that. But I think especially with what they've done in with the medicine and all that stuff, I think it would be incredibly difficult. And think of the travel now. We're in airplanes, we're on ships, we're all that stuff. And how fast COVID passed around, everywhere. I think it would be the same thing. And you have something that, I mean, you could hardly even be able to help anybody because you would be putting your life in your hands, right?
Oh yeah.
And that would concern me. I think that would be like a horrible scenario. Still, would I try to, I think then your scenario is, do you help somebody and help them recover from typhoid, knowing that you put yourself and your family members at risk that you live with? Or do you ignore the situation? They're on their own, right? So there's a scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to move that. Yeah.
I was reading Grateful Preps.
Mm-hmm.
A global pandemic begins and they are lockdowns. The government totally lies about it. They make everyone wear masks, stay home, and lose jobs. Then they're forced everyone to take the poison cure.
Yeah. But that's happened in history, hasn't it? So
yeah. I was also trying to see if anybody got this one of the special words. Not yet. No. I keep on like going through them.
Well, you just make those words hard or something.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So somebody said they've already thrown the kitchen sink at us. No, they haven't. Not even close. Now, they were able to do minimum and figure out what they were facing with the fear of the people. And people showed they'd comply. They were afraid enough that they would comply. There were very few of us. Well, I think there's a lot more than what we even thought. But there were some of us that stood up and said, nope, not having it. We're done. And we're not going to comply. We're not going to do any of it. But few and far between compared to the rest of the population. So,
oh yeah, and like Rapid said, we haven't seen nothing yet.
Oh no,
No,
it's gonna get nasty. They got to figure out. They got to bring the numbers down. And it's interesting to me that they're still running on that. That we have to bring the population down because I'm seeing report after report after report that in these civilized cities and countries and all of that, the population rate keeps going down, not because they're dying off, but because there's not that many births anymore.
Yeah.
They're not repopulating. So,
well, and also, I mean, if people actually stop and think about how much people are unable to pay for things, and then here having babies and all, and then really can't pay for things, and
I was having a conversation with somebody about that. Well, I tried having a conversation and it quickly looked like it was going to turn into somewhat of an argument. And, but she was kind enough to just stop it and nip it in the bud. And, I don't know. You can't sit at a cell and, get mad because you're not making the money that you made the previous year. The fact is groceries have gone up tremendously. and they say 50%. I think it's more like 150%.
Mhm.
Where one bag of groceries you're walking out used to cost $20, $25, depending on what was in it, and now it costs $75.
Mhm.
And it's just reality. This is what's happening. People cannot afford to eat what makes you think they're going to come and buy a pair of shoes and a necklace. It's not going to happen. So,
Yeah.
um,
And I like to see old-timey pictures of things. And so I even seen this one picture of a lady has all of her groceries laid out and everything that she bought, which was a good amount of stuff for $12.
yeah,
And of course, I mean that was back in the
years and years and years ago. Yeah.
yes, but still, I
Yeah.
mean it, and that's also why I like watching those old movies and shows and all. And
Mhm.
when they say, "Oh, man, it's 10 cents," or "Oh, it's only 25 cents for that. It used to be this much back in my day." And
Yeah.
I always like, especially we watched Miami Vice, and he was mad that it went a can of soda went up I don't know, to 75 cents, and it's like, what? Really? It's like $1.50 now for a
Yeah.
can
They
of
used,
soda.
I remember when they used to be 10 cents. You literally put a dime in the machine and get a
Yeah,
pop.
that's
Standing
what
in
he
line.
was saying in
Yeah.
the Crockett even said,
Yeah.
"Oh, when I was a kid, it was 10 cents."
Yeah. Yeah. I always loved it because it was easy to get a dime from your mom or dad, right? So that you can get a pop and they didn't even blink twice about it. Or, you dig through the couch and find some loose change and then go drink all the pop and buy candy that you want. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nickel for a cup of coffee in the 30s. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, craziness now. So I don't know. I always get irritated when I go buy a pop and oh, where did I go? I can't. Oh, we were traveling. We were either going to Tennessee or coming back, and I needed my Vice, and well, I didn't need it. I wanted it, so
Yeah.
I wanted my Vice, and I'm like, hey, stop at Sonic, and so I can get a Route 44. Oh yeah. It was, we were in Tennessee and we stopped there. And I even have the app where I can order ahead. Their order ahead wasn't working. And sometimes you can save money if you get it through the app. So I told G, I'm like, well, it's before 10 o'clock. So it should be fine. They'll still have the half price this and that kind of thing. I said, go, I'll have, because I always do from Sonic. I get my Route 44 Diet Coke Easy Ice. And then I get a breakfast burrito with no milk. So it's just egg and cheese. And so I get that. Oh my gosh. I think he added a tot. He added a tot and a large diet limeade on there. It was $14 for us for breakfast, just for that. And then on top of it, when we got it, my burrito, I said, did you order me a junior burrito? I would have liked to have a regular burrito. This is not going to be enough for me to eat and last me through till dinner. And he goes, because we were eating breakfast, like a brunch type deal. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat again until it was time for dinner and all the food was ready, John's party and stuff. And no, it was a little teeny tiny burrito. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I mean, I think it was maybe one egg's worth. I kid you not.
Mhm.
I could not believe it. I was just floored.
Yep.
So, but
Prices
Tennessee is
go
on
prices go up and stuff
it.
shrinks
Mhm.
down.
Yeah. Well, and then like Carrie and I were talking because Carrie's from Wisconsin and I'm from Kansas. And so we decided like none of the men wanted to drag beer around and, do all of that. We thought, well, it'll be easier. Just everybody can get it in Tennessee. Like I'm making Garen happy. Carrie's like, I'm making Glenn happy. We'll just, they were going to go ahead and order kegs and they did order kegs, did not get them, but they ordered them.
Oh.
And so they got everything ordered. I went and got cases of beer, the beer cans and all of that. And so we had those to sell throughout the day until the beer tent opened up. And so I got those in Tennessee. I only got 4 cases of beer. It was $179. I kid you not. And we're talking 24 packs. There's no 30 packs there on that shelf. And believe me, I was like, if I'm paying that much money, I want a 30 pack. I could not
Mhm.
find them. They were all 24 pack. And so got those $179 for 4 cases of beer. Ridiculous. And then Carrie ordered, paid top dollar for the kegs, got everything ordered. We had to go pick them up and the kegs weren't in. Like, we don't know if they actually really ordered them or they ordered them and didn't get them delivered. They're saying they weren't delivered. And so the kegs weren't there, which meant, and this is the beer tent, so everybody's getting their beer that night there, right? It comes, you pay $35 for a mug, and it says like SOE, birthday bash, or whatever on it, and then it's all the beer you can drink, right? For that $35. Imagine that without a keg. We needed an equivalent of 600 beers, all cases of pop. I spent $179, and that was only for 96 beers.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, big difference. So we decided from now on, we're just gonna, we got to get a new trailer anyway. So we're going to get tandem axle, and then Carrie and I we'll just look and see what the prices are for her, what the prices are for us. Everybody's got a trailer with brakes on it and that kind of thing. So we don't have to worry about weight anymore. And we're going to just go get them, and we'll get them from here and then just drive them out there. Cause it's insane. I can't believe what they're charging for beer in Tennessee. It's like double what it is in Kansas and Missouri.
Man, what about making it?
The beer? Well, we can make it, but when we make it, it's a craft beer. And Garen doesn't like to share. Garen doesn't share well with others. It gets put away for special occasions. So, yeah. No, he doesn't share very well. But not when it comes to that. Now, if he makes, like, if it's your mulberries or something like that, or something, hard apple cider or something like that, he'll barter, and he'll do like 50% for you, 50% for him. And that hard apple cider he did, I think he did it last year. It was either last year or the year before. He shared a lot with that. Of course, he had it so carbonated that he would pop it and half the bottle would pour out. You almost had to do like a keg stand with it. Pop it and stick your mouth on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sorry for all taps. I forget to lower. I don't know what you did.
Oh,
video call. So somebody video call. Call my parents. I don't know. I can't get all the way up there, so I can't really see what it says. All right, let's go to the next one. World War III. On September 8th, 2036, in the city of Detroit, Michigan, during World War III, you are a high-ranking intelligence officer who has discovered a network of spies within your own organization. However, you also find out that your sibling is a key figure in this network. Do you expose the entire network, including your sibling, to protect your country? Or I'm just trying to figure out which sibling in this scenario is mine. And to protect your country, or do you try to shield your sibling from the consequences, risking national security?
I would almost want to, if it's my sibling, be like, okay, hey, since you're doing this, how about let's switch it around? You give me an intel. Or off with your head.
Dang. So that's an interesting concept. However, you got to remember that your sibling is a spy, right?
Yeah.
So you just compromised yourself.
Yeah.
And you've turned you've turned that sibling into a double operative, which is also dangerous.
That's why when I said off with your head, it reminded me of the Red Heart the Red Heart Queen off of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Sharon.
Yeah. Super cool.
Skeins. It depends on which sibling it is.
That's what I'm saying. So,
I only have one sibling, so me, my brother. But I don't see him doing it personally, though.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, times get tough. They get caught doing something. They have to become a spy. I mean, it happens. So I threw mine under the bus like they did me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Religion, scenario 16. On December 7th, 2027, in the isolate landscape of Honolulu, Hawaii, a religious extremist group is carrying out a ruthless campaign to exterminate all those who oppose their beliefs. You have discovered that your closest friend is secretly a member of the group and is responsible for numerous atrocities. Do you confront your friend and attempt to persuade them to abandon their violent path, knowing that doing so could make you a target, or do you remain silent?
I would want to either cut my friend off completely, like you're not my friend no more, or do try to go back to like, hey, you used to not like all this stuff. Da 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 da. You're just da da. I don't know. Probably actually quit being friends with them, really.
Yeah, I think I'd take them out, right? And so this has actually happened, just not in a, well, yeah, no, it was really in a gory scenario. Just we didn't have to, the blood was not on TV, right? But this actually happened. It was what we just went through. The last 4 years have been nothing more than the largest medical experiment ever in the United States. And now we have people from one side that are saying, if you're a Trump supporter, die. If you're a Trump supporter, you're a terrorist, die. If you're a Trump supporter, you don't get this. You know, we have to be punished for being Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And so this is actually happening.
Yeah.
This is actually happening. It's like happening right underneath our nose. It's just right now it's not extremely gory and bloody, but it can very easily get there, and it can be prepared. It probably will next year. As soon as he starts making changes and doing stuff and gets ahead, I just remember the past. It's not been that long ago. And remember like last time when we were reading the cards and doing that, and we came up with the pandemic and your friend was still going out in public, what would you do? And you ladies were like, we'll just lock them up. And I said, but now remember what happened.
Yeah, right? You actually had to remind me about what happened in China.
Yeah, China here. I mean, it was everywhere, the lockdowns. And so, you know, it was everywhere. And how quickly we forget, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they did. They purposely gave us a new normal. And people, both conservative and on the left, bit hook, line, and sinker. And so, you know, but that's why these cards are great. And that's why it's great having these kind of panels and talking to each other, because we can kind of bring each other back and go, hey, remember, you know, this is what happened. Here's this is what they've sold you. But in reality, this is what really happened. And so
and that's why also it's good to know your history, so that if you know your history, hopefully you then won't repeat it.
History always repeats itself.
I know, but you can hopefully try not to.
It always does. There's just nothing you can do about that. There's something weird in the universe about it. And it does. It tends to repeat itself. That's how we know that we're getting ready for a big collapse, because most empires only last about 250 years.
Yeah.
Roman Empire.
That even just reminds me about the one king back in the Bible that had the dream of the different sections of this statue. We were at the feet of clay and whatever. Shannon, you probably know what I'm talking about. I can't think.
Who was the king that dreamt about the statue when we were at the feet of clay? Was that David? Trying to remember, because was it David? David also saw God.
Or was, because the one king had the dream and the other person interpreted it for them.
Pharaoh. Are you talking? Garen asked, "Are you talking the Pharaoh?"
Oh, King Herod.
Herod.
Oh, King Herod.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that just reminded me of that about the the different sections, and then the history, and in that everything does not stay.
Yeah, right. If schools actually taught history anymore, that might help. Yeah, well, you definitely can't.
Nebuchadnezzar. Yes, thank y'all.
Hey, LP, I got your stickers. So, and it was so cute. He even sent us our stickers, and I had to laugh. He sent me like the total generic fan club letter with the limited edition stickers and that kind of thing. And I'm like, damn, at least he could have said it was great talking with you, you know, that kind of thing. And but I know it's all good. So I got my sticker on my Backmaster. I'll get a video done. And then Garen has his sticker, but he said I could have it and I can do with what I want. So
I put it on the gun locker.
you're gonna put it on the gun locker? I thought I could have it and do. I was gonna put it.
You can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Okay, so LP, do you want it on the gun locker or do you want it on the money box? So Garen wants it on the gun locker, but no, he said I didn't want to overdo it. It's all good. It's all good, man. I actually, as I was reading, I'm like, man, I need a generic letter like that. Like I literally sit down with every shipment, and Ashley, you know this, you've gotten a shipment. I write a hand note, you know.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it gives a nice personalization, you know, and we get to thank everybody for supporting the channel and that kind of thing. And just kind of says we appreciate you. Stick it where it feels good. Yeah, so probably the gun locker. That's probably where it's going. But yeah.
You need more stickers.
I need more stickers. You know how many stickers I have? I've got like
well, so you can have one. He can have one on the gun locker. You can put it where you want it.
I got Spag's face is all over my refrigerator. I look at my cash box. I got Spag's face. I got, you know, like everybody gives me their stickers. Oh, I got Tag in his devil outfit, you know, Star of the Beast. It's all over the place, you know. And then what else did Tag give me? Oh, he went, I've got Joe in the Hoe, you know, on a magnet on my refrigerator. I get some of the weirdest crap from people, you know, but it's all funny stuff, right? So you gotta have it on there. But, yeah, no, I got stickers everywhere. I'm like a big kid. But yeah. Ebenezer? What are we? I missed something.
King Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar, but I missed something. Where did he come from?
We were talking about the statue.
Well, I know, but I thought that was Hera. So one was the interpreter, one was the dreamer. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Oop, trying not to get my cards mixed up. I'm playing with them here. I had a rubber band to keep them rubber banded, but I'll have to go find another one because I don't know where it went. Oh, it's on the floor. That's oh, sorry, it all hurts. The body hurts. But yeah. Hey, you know, so interesting thing, you know, with everybody in here. It was kind of interesting to me. So like Tuesday night's live, you know, when we were very appreciative and, you know, like surviving, you guys have no idea how bad that accident was. It was just, if you saw the pictures of the truck, that doesn't even explain to you how bad it was. And it was pretty amazing to me. So we were thanking God that it wasn't worse. And, you know, he definitely gave him credit for us not being dead, et cetera, et cetera. Do you know how many subscribers we lost?
Really?
Yes. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what in the world happened? And Garen goes, go back and watch the one video I did the morning after Tuesday. And I said, but I started noticing this Tuesday night in our live. And he goes, yeah. He goes, go watch them both. And he goes, and listen to how much praise we gave to God. And we had, but here's the really weird part. Almost as many that unsubscribed. We had almost that many subscribe again. So, yeah. So it was just very, very interesting. And it wasn't that they, you know, got unsubscribed and came in and resubscribed. It was like they were out. It was like, peace out, done. And
yeah.
Like, well, that's fine. But it's how me and my household roll. So
yeah.
Glory be to God. If you want to subscribe to my channel because you don't like God, get the hell off my channel because I love Jesus.
Yep.
Shannon, she even just said that, hold on, let me find it.
Yeah, CLP says you do you'll always win. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She has 150 subscribers now for her channel.
Good.
Awesome. And that is awesome that she's doing that.
I actually think we'll be with the grandbabies. So I'll go in. I didn't realize that you had a channel. So remind me if I don't remember to do it. Ask me Thursday if I did it. I'll go in and I'll subscribe under Grumpy Acres because we'll be with the kids, with the grandbabies. So we'll go ahead and turn that on, and then you can read us the book too. That'll be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We'll make some popcorn. We'll just do our popcorn thing and listen to the story.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, so like when we went to church Sunday, man, I do like this church. So I'm glad that Cowboy told us about it. We went, and that sermon seemed like it was exactly for us. And I kept hitting G with my elbow. I'm like, are you listening? Are you listening? And, you cannot get defeated. And they're in Matthew. And so they were talking, of course, the journey and breaking down what it says in the Bible, and then going back to those times and putting it in real world biblical application so that you understood it. And I never thought about this before. They were talking about the wise men that went, and it talks about the 3 wise men. And then he started talking about the treasures and all of that he took around. And so you think about all the gold, and it would have been very expensive. These were all very expensive gifts, and pounds of myrrh and pounds of frankincense and that kind of thing. And so when they took that, and I never thought about this before, do you realize that there had to have been more than just each king? They would have had an entourage of soldiers with them protecting them and the goods. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And then he said, "Bye, LP, thank you." And then he said, he was talking about, so when they went to Mary's house, and it didn't say that they were still in the stable. They actually went to Mary's house, which means it took them a month because they were coming from, the best that they could tell, the kings were coming from Iran. And so they were coming from Iran to Israel. And so that would be a month's travel. And so it would have been 2 months total travel that star was lit for them to get to where they needed to be.
Yes, I like it when they put in like things like that, not just like, reading it or going over it, like actually go in depth with it.
Yeah. No, way so super cool preacher. Really liked it. So I'm excited. I was even thinking Sunday when we go to church, I may take him, because you guys know I have the frankincense and myrrh. I may do a small Christmas gift appreciation and make sure he gets some frankincense and myrrh in his hands. I just think it'd be kind of neat. Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I just think it'd be kind of neat.
Yes.
And then for the gold, I might just pick up like the you guys know the gold chocolate coins and that kind of thing for Christmas, usually for Hanukkah. And so I'll pick some of that up and do that. I just think it'd be kind of neat. Because it just really did feel like that sermon was for us, don't get discouraged. It takes a while, and it's going to take a while to get through this journey, but it's all worth it. And but I thought it was really interesting, and they kind of did a picture of what it would have been like, for that star. Some said it was a comet that just came through and that kind of thing. And I remember coming back from Catholic Mass, midnight Mass, and we got home, and I looked up in the sky. It was really weird. It caught my eye before we even got home. I don't know. I was like 11 or 12 or something like that. And I remember getting out, and I looked up, and there was the North Star and a great big huge cross in the sky. And I was just in awe standing out there, and I just started crying. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, look. I said, "Jesus star is out." I said, "This is going to be a really good year." And I've never forgotten that. Here I am, 52. That's 40 years ago. At least 40 years ago. I was like 11 or 12. And never will forget that sight. And you know what's weird? I haven't seen it since.
Well, no.
Yeah. So, but no, I love it when that kind of stuff happens. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, anything else that we need to gobble up or talk about? I know you guys missed us all week, so Yeah. Well, did you guys go on Thursday? You went Thursday night, didn't you?
No, we didn't do Thursday either. I emailed Terminator and just saying, well, she emailed me first before I could email her. But yeah, we decided not to do it. I put it on the community that we weren't going to do it, but we'll be back Monday. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like for a full good week, he was not doing good at all. So
Well, I'm glad he's doing better now. But yeah, just remember that activated charcoal. That stuff works.
I know. I keep on forgetting certain things. That is my thing there. I have certain things, but then I forget about it when it comes down time to use it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I cannot believe I actually lasted an hour and 15 minutes, and I was actually on 10 minutes before you. So that's almost an hour and a half for me. I am getting another headache, so I do need to go take some more Tylenol and that kind of thing. And bed's calling my name. So
you get rest.
Yeah, I was sleeping before I came in here, guys. I got up out of bed for you guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Oh, question though, because of your muscles or anything, are you using that DMSO?
Yeah, I'm using the DMSO. I've got comfrey, getting all that stuff on. And so I smell like a big comfrey tallow garlic ball, if that makes sense. and like, man, I might as well just go ahead and have at it. So I made like pasta tonight, and I was like making my sauce. I'm like, I can just load it with onion. Nobody's going to know the difference. Yeah. So nobody knows. But yeah, no, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, you just go rest and feel better and heal up and all that.
Yeah. So yeah, the lights, I do notice the lights are not, the lights don't help. So the cluster headaches, don't really know what mine is. MRI looking like it's going to be after Christmas. So I just trying to get swelling down. I was telling little Miss Prepper before the swelling is going down, and I can tell because there are other parts of my neck that are starting to hurt. So kind of is what it is. But yeah, I'll get through it. And with all of your prayers and support, man, you guys have been amazing. And thank you so much. I cannot believe how fast prayer groups came together and all that. You guys are just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful warriors. And I'm glad you guys are on my side. So, but anyway, all right, guys.
Well,
before I get
Thursday, another ladies' night. So everybody join us then, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. Only time zone that matters is Central Time, though. 7 p.m. Central Time. And hey, guys, be at least 1% better tomorrow than you were today, yeah? And go live a life done free. Appreciate you all.
Yes, and have a blessed evening, everybody.
Bye, Ashley.